Hey everyone, Token Dave over here, the dorky token black guy that's just trying to get by. And welcome to another edition of Kaiju! So, for the rest of the month of June, I will predominantly be talking about and reviewing traditional kaiju movies. What is a traditional kaiju movie? Well, in my opinion and in my definition, a traditional kaiju movie is a giant monster movie that was originally created, funded, and shot in Japan. So today I am going to talk about one of the lesser known movies, Varan, the Unbelievable. So, Commander Jim Bradley of the U.S. Navy is sent to Kunish, a small rural village right outside of Hiroshima, in a joint U.S.-Japanese scientific military operation to oversee the experimentation of an untested chemical in a lake where it is believed that this chemical has the ability to purify salt water. The experiments run afoul of the local villagers who believe that they will actually anger and awaken a god that they worship that lives in the bottom of that lake. Ignoring the warnings, Bradley's experiment awakens a prehistoric creature that wreaks havoc on the village and is headed straight for the heart of Hiroshima. I remember seeing this cassette in my uncle's room as a kid, and I asked my Uncle Randy, "Hey, Uncle Randy, what is this?" And then he tells me, "Oh, this is a monster movie, a monster like Godzilla." And I was initially excited, I just saw Godzilla King of the Monsters, I saw Godzilla 1985, and then I saw Rodan. So I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome, I want to watch this. And my Uncle Jeffrey, who was in the room at the time, he said, it's a good thing about being a kid? Having a lot of time to waste. Boy, was he right. Because, God, this movie was a waste of time. Ugh. Now, if you saw my intro to Kaiju video, you will know that the majority of the movies that I'm reviewing are the United States cut. And this is definitely a US cut because it is in the like of Godzilla King of the Monsters, where the movie Gojira was originally filmed and shot in Japan, while the Americans distributed Godzilla King of the Monsters, but they shot separate scenes in the United States with Raymond Burr. And even though those scenes were shot in the United States, they found a way to edit them to make it appear that Raymond Burr was actually interacting with the characters in the original Japanese cut. Nope, not here, because the American footage shot for Varan, the Unbelievable, does not actually communicate or is not edited in a way where the American footage will interact with the Japanese footage. Nope, not here, number one. Number two, the monster is called Varan in Japan. But for some reason, in this movie and in this cut, they call him Obaki. Okay, I don't know why, but, whatever. Makes no sense. And unlike Godzilla King of the Monsters, the American characters here are terrible. It's very generic, very going through the motions most of the time, and especially with the lead character, Commander Jim Bradley. He is so generic, 1950s. It's just like, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, America cool. And the other Japanese American actors they got here, yes, they were happy that they had a gig at that time period where, it was hard to be, a non-white actor in the 50s, Well, more like the 60s. You see, this movie was originally shot and released in Japan in 1958, but was released in the United States in 1962. By the way, if it was shot in 1958 in black and white, why was Rodan shot and released in 1956 in color? Maybe the Japanese knew what they were doing when they were giving us this POS movie. Anyway, the Japanese American actors, while I could tell that they were happy to have a role in a movie, they were just there. They were going through the motions. It was clear, you know. Another issue with this movie, and I really think that Toho didn't really care, is, you know, how well the movie is preserved. Like, you saw a lot, like, I know with low-budget movies, it gets grainy sometimes and everything, but good God, you, like, saw the specks of dust on the film with, like, the graininess, like, overtook most of the film and everything, you know, which is, like, terrible, because, like, you're trying to watch stuff and everything, and, like, you know, it's really hard to see. Which, by the way, is another complaint that I have, because when it's nighttime, the movie is dark. And I'm not talking about metaphorically, I'm talking about literally dark. It is very hard to see what happens. It's like, oh, it's nighttime. Oh, okay, I can see the outline of something. I can see something is happening. I can see something is happening. I just can't clearly see it. Oh, I just saw a bright white flash right there. All right, something did happen. You know stuff is happening. You just can't see it, which is aggravating. Ugh. So, is there anything good about this movie? Yes, there is, actually. One, it's Toho. It's a giant monster. Their costumes are awesome. Obaki / Varan's costume is great. When you can clearly see him wreaking havoc in the village, mostly, you know, costume looks awesome. I say that, you know, a lot of the non-American movies, when they had monster costumes or tried to use stop motion, you know, even though the Americans created it, the other countries perfected it, you know, which was amazing, you know. Another good thing is basically, while all the characters were pretty weak, one character stood out, which was Jim Bradley's wife, Anna, played by Suruku Koyabashi. You know, she was awesome in this movie, and she displayed the complexity of, like, holding on to her Japanese heritage of being the devout, loving wife, but at the same time, you know, being Americanized enough to being able to push back against against her husband, you know, or try to manipulate him to do something where she actually felt the fear and the anxiety of the villagers, and how she convinced him to, like, you know, not be so iron-fisted and so, like, you know, myopic about things. So, you know, it's sad that she's not really on the computer, that I can't look her up any other way, but, like, you know, Suruku Koyabashi, you were awesome in this. You made this movie bearable to some degree. But overall, you know, I fell asleep 4 times trying to watch this movie and everything. And it's so freaking boring. So with the bore factor, with unlikable characters, with the terrible editing, with terrible sound, you know, recycled stock footage, because, guys, I just reviewed Rodan. A lot of the music from Rodan appears here, as well as generic 1950s monster movie music appears here too, as well as, you know, hardly able to see anything, and with terrible characters. All in all, Varan the Unbelievable is whack. You guys agree? You guys disagree? Drop me a comment, give me a like, subscribe, hit that little bell so you'll be notified when a new video comes, and spread this video out, guys. But till then, this has been Token Dave, the dorky token black guy just trying to get by, and I'll catch you guys later.